All right, so finally, the full list of the cabinet, new cabinet that will be working in the Biafran government has been published. Now, note, this list was published about 4 or 5 days ago. Yes, but I did not bring you the update because there was an error in the list. Some of you don't know. I know some of you may have seen it. There was an error. So I was waiting for that error to be corrected before I bring you the update. Because it don't make sense, say, I carry the list, come publish here, come talk about them. Then at the end of the day, I'll still come back and say, oh, there was an error. See, they don't call it. It don't make sense. It's better if you want to publish something, you get the right one, get the right information, and pass it on. All right. So I'm going to tell you the error, and I'm going to show you the full list. All right. And I'm going to also tell you how the error is being corrected. All right. So as you all remember, as I said, I have said it in my previous video, that Dr. Ngozi Oreboweze, who is the acting prime minister of the Biafran government, has said that Simon Ekpa has given her the authority to dissolve all the existing cabinet on the day of declaration, so that a new cabinet will be elected. All right, and she has done that. She has dissolved the past cabinet and has elected the new cabinet. And I'm going to mention some of the names that are in the new cabinet, and I'll also tell you the problem or the issue that they had there. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to display it on the screen so that you'll also see it. All right. All right. So, Government of the United States of Biafra, Office of the Prime Minister, Bridging, Cabinet of the United States of Biafra Government. All right. Of course, 6th of December 2024. Biafran leader Nnamdi Kanu, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, Deputy Prime Minister Internal COS Dr. Ngozi Oreboweze / Patricia Omogwa, so that is correct. All right. Secretary of State Engineer Christian Udozo, Secretary of Defense Engineer Solomon Nkwocha, Secretary of Treasurer Vera Oji, Minister of Justice Anthony Jenny Iwozo, Secretary of Energy Emmanuel Yakubu. Now here wahala day. Emmanuel Yakubu. Now here wahala day. So, when people saw this list and they were arguing, they don't add Fulani for us, so they don't give us Fulani as a minister or as, one of the cabinets. People commented. I went to X, that is Twitter, and I saw a lot of people, saying all sort of things about this name, Emmanuel Yakubu. They say, hey, Fulani don't enter a Biafran cabinet, oh, this one, that. So I have to come down to wait for the response or wait to hear from, Dr. Ngozi Oreboweze. And she has replied. And did you know her answer? Watch this video. Your memo and the list of the people that will work in the new cabinet. We saw a name there, captioned Yakubu. Can you throw a light to Biafrans about this name, please? Yakubu. So that name is really a panic name to the people of Biafra.
Yeah, thank you so much. Even when we had the 40 state administrators meeting yesterday with the Homeland administrators, and Yakubu was there. And based on what some of our Biafrans have been talking about that name, Yakubu was able to introduce himself. So Yakubu is the administrator for Igala State. Igala State is one of the states of Biafra. And if you go through our constitution, the one that was just given out in Finland, on the back, if you read the names of the individuals that have done the constitution, Emmanuel was one of them. Emmanuel Yakubu. He's a member of the Constitution Drafting Committee for the Biafra Republic government in exile. So he's a Christian, and he's the administrator of Igala State that have their capital as Ekpa, is the capital of Igala State. So he's a true warrior. PM loves him so much, knows him very well. I know the name stands out, but again, I don't even know if he's in this space. But yeah, that's who he is. And I think the message is to let the world know that Biafra is not just Igbo speaking. Biafran states, we have 40 states, and it cuts across for some some people that are trying to in the Nigeria Zoo section trying to say, oh, Biafra is just limited to 5 Igbo speaking regions and all that. So we're trying to let them know Biafra is all over. It's not just Igbo speaking. We have Biafrans in Ekala, Lower Kogi, Lower Benue, on the Edo side, on the Urobo Isoko.
So after watching this, you will know that no be wulu wulu. You know, say no be say na mago. Nah, you know, it's straight. It's straight. So the guy, you know, has really been working, and he is part of us. So the name Yakubu no be saying na Fulani. He is part of us. All right. So please, I'm still going to allow you to watch the other lists and, you know, the other list, how it is being listed. All right. So as you're watching it, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Right. Turn on your notification button so you get notified anytime I upload a video. Right. So please watch this.
Next, let's turn to the ministries that form the backbone of governance. Each role is filled by individuals who bring expertise and dedication to their respective portfolios. Secretary of State, Engineer Christine Udozo. Secretary of Defense, Engineer Solomon Nkwocha, Secretary of the Treasury, Vera Oji, Minister of Justice, Attorney Jane Iwunze, Secretary of Energy Emmanuel Yakubu. These appointments set the stage for delivering on economic growth, national security, and justice reform. Further emphasizing the administration's commitment to progress, here are key appointments in specific sectors. Secretary of Oil and Gas, Binet Anyanu, Secretary of Education, Dr. Ngozi Okpalaenwe, Secretary of Youth and Sport, Gozie Jonathan, Secretary of Commerce and Industry, Benjamin Jonathan, Secretary of Science and Technology, Praise Egu, Secretary of Arts, Culture and Tourism, Judith Osazuwa. These leaders will focus on education reform, technological advancement, and fostering cultural pride. And now, let's highlight the team driving social and economic transformation. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Dr. Ofoham. Secretary of Transportation and Logistics, Edward Ibe. Secretary of Policy and Strategic Planning, Paul Adinam. Secretary of Community and Social Services, Princess Uduak Iyoho Eshiet. Secretary of Finance, Economic Development and Trade, Pham Diana Eme. This group will play a pivotal role in creating jobs, advancing healthcare systems, and building infrastructure. The administration also prioritizes sustainability and rural development with the following leaders: Secretary of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Dr. Ferdinand Okang, Secretary of Housing, Urban Development and Infrastructure Planning, Reverend Ebenezer Anene, Secretary of Water Resources and Environmental Management, Dr. Cornelius Nana Namuchi. These appointments ensure that environmental management and rural community development are at the heart of national progress. Finally, the team addressing communication and workforce challenges includes Secretary of Employment, Labor and Productivity, Ulo Ogbona, Secretary of Information, Telecommunication and Postal Services, Dr. Princess Agi. Together, they will enhance communication infrastructure and create more opportunities for the workforce. As we witness this historic moment for the United States of Biafra, we invite you, our viewers, to stay tuned to Biafra Express News for further updates and in-depth analysis. Remember, this is just the beginning of a journey toward progress and prosperity for the Biafran people. We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts on today's announcement via our social media channels. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome back to Biafra Express News. In a major update from the Office of the Chief of Staff, the United States of Biafra government has released further details regarding the appointments of departmental heads. These roles are essential for executing the vision and policies outlined by the cabinet. Let's dive into these newly revealed leadership positions. To complement the leadership already announced, these departmental heads will oversee critical portfolios under their respective secretariats. Here are the key highlights of this announcement, signed by Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, Chief of Staff, on behalf of the Prime Minister. Department of State, Directors of Foreign Affairs, Ada Ize, North America, South America. Uche Obi, Dr. Joy Irobi, Europe, Africa, Oceania, and Asia. Department of Defense, Deputy Secretaries, C.B. Philip Ajoko. Department of Justice, Key Divisions and Leadership, Religious Freedom and Monitoring, Senior Dominica Olevnune. Jewish Affairs, Apostle Steve Ajubi. Traditional Affairs, Princess Odohungi. Christianity, Ada Onovu. Department of Education, Deputy Secretary, Henry Agunwa. Department of Science and Technology, Deputy Secretary, Azubuike Nwadi. Department of Arts, Culture and Tourism, Deputy Secretary, Dora Umusu. Department of Health and Human Services, Deputy Secretary, Dr. Franca Modibe. Department of Transportation and Logistics, Deputy Secretary, Okpole Nwadioka. Department of Community and Social Services, Deputy Secretary, Victoria Frank. Women and Children Services, Nkemdirim James. Disability Affairs, Pastor Rose Allen. Department of Finance, Economic Development and Trade, Deputy Secretaries, Bridget Nwaje, Ifeoma Isiozo. Department of Information, Telecommunication and Postal Services, Deputy Secretary, Tochi Namani. Media Team, Voice of Biafra, UGD 247, QTV, Biafra Unite, Biafra Unite, Biafra Writers of Conscience, 5 and 55 Vision, Adiorama. These appointments emphasize a decentralized and inclusive approach to governance, as all departments are directed to align their structures with the United States of Biafra's Constitution. It is evident that the government is leaving no stone unturned in ensuring capable leadership across all sectors. Today's announcements paint a clear picture of the United States of Biafra government's commitment to delivering transformative leadership and operational excellence. As the story develops, we will keep you updated with further news.
Right, so what do you think about this? Drop your comment on the comment section and do not forget to subscribe to this channel, right? Thank you and God bless you.
The long-awaited announcement of the new cabinet for the United States of Biafra has finally been made. While the initial list was released a few days ago, an error delayed its presentation. After ensuring the accuracy of the updated list, we're ready to share the details with you, along with insights into the changes. Why the delay? The original release contained a mistake that caused widespread confusion. Rather than sharing incorrect information, we waited for clarification. Now that the issue has been resolved, here's the complete and corrected cabinet lineup, along with explanations about the error. Key highlights from the cabinet list. On December 6, 2024, the following appointments were confirmed, reflecting the government's commitment to economic growth, security, and justice reform. Prime Minister Simon. Deputy Prime Minister Internos Patricia. Secretary of State Engineer Christine Wu. Secretary of Defense Engineer Solomon Ankwa. Secretary of Treasury Vera O. Minister of Justice Attorney Jing Yun. Secretary of Energy Emmanuel Yakubu. Clarification on controversial names. The inclusion of Emmanuel Yakubu raised questions due to its unexpected nature. However, during a recent meeting of state administrators, Yakubu introduced himself as the administrator of Alabama State. This inclusion emphasizes the government's commitment to representing all regions and ethnic groups in Biafra, countering the narrative that it is limited to specific communities. Yakubu's appointment highlights the administration's inclusive vision. Expanded cabinet roles. The following leaders are poised to drive progress across various sectors. Secretary of Oil and Gas Benet Anu. Secretary of Education Joy Okal. Secretary of Youth and Sports Goye Jonathan. Secretary of Commerce and Industry Benjamin Jonathan. Secretary of Science and Technology Praise Yu. Secretary of Arts, Culture, and Tourism Judith Oza. These appointments are critical to addressing education reform, technological advancement, and cultural pride, fostering social and economic transformation. The cabinet also includes leaders dedicated to improving healthcare, infrastructure, and social services. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Dr. Ofem. Secretary of Transportation and Logistics, Edward Ibe. Secretary of Policy and Strategic Planning, Paul Adinam. Secretary of Community and Social Services, Princess Hudak. Focus on sustainability and development. Leaders in environmental and rural development roles include Secretary of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Dr. Ferdinand Okang. Secretary of Housing and Infrastructure Planning, Ribiza. Secretary of Water Resources and Environmental Management, Dr. Cornelius Nami. Inclusive and Decentralized Governance. To further the vision of inclusivity, departmental heads have also been appointed under various secretariats. These roles include Foreign Affairs Directors Ada E. Uch Obi and Dr. Joy Arobi. Deputy Secretaries across Defense, Education, Health, and Transportation departments. A new era for Biafra. The government's commitment to excellence and transformative leadership is clear. This inclusive cabinet reflects a strategic effort to unify the nation and drive progress across all sectors. As more details unfold, stay connected for updates. Join the conversation. What are your thoughts on this historic announcement? Share your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications for the latest updates.
If you made it this far and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please smash that red subscribe button below. And don't forget that we're waiting for you in the comment section. Please read or watch to understand and not to argue. Okay, because what is currently happening in Nigeria right now, we all know and we all can feel it. So don't forget to let us know what you think about it. What is the way forward? What do you think the government could do better? Which area do you think they could improve on, or which area do you think they can also work on? If you haven't subscribed yet, smash that red subscribe button below, please, and give you a big hug. Welcome to the family. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one.